Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Raasay Special Release, Summerton exclusive. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of Raasay Special Release, Summerton exclusive. This particular whisky came to me as part of my Summerton subscription for October 2024 and is a special release from Raasay. This distillery is from the Hebridean island of Raasay and dates back to 2017. This particular whisky is made from peated and unpeated whisky and is aged in rye casks, chinkapin oak casks and Bordeaux red wine casks. It's one of 1200 bottles, it's 61.3% ABV, it's non-chill filtered and natural colour, and it's also made from Scottish malted barley and Highland peat. Should we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. So before I start nosing and tasting, let's have a quick look at the colour. I'd say it's like a yellow gold, really is a nice shade indeed. Let's start with the nose. Right, so the first thing I get is like a hint of apple cider. I'm getting a hint of cheap chocolate, like supermarket chocolate. There's a bit of a smouldering fire going on. There's some charred oak. I'm getting sour apple sweets. There's some baking spices. I'm getting buttered toast. There's vanilla, golden syrup. And I'm also getting a hint of red berries. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so the first thing that you get on the palate with this is sweet peat. There's a really nice smoke and lots of sweet vanilla. There's a bit of brown sugar as well, and that sort of smouldering bonfire that sort of delivers that smoke. It's really, really quite nice. Let's have another sip. There's a cereal note that's quite present on this, reminding me of oatcakes, and there's definitely some heat building now. This is hot, but I wouldn't say very hot. I think it's 61.3% ABV. It definitely comes across as not as hot as you'd expect for the ABV. I think typically this reminds me around the sort of 55% mark. There's definitely that sort of chili pepper tingle though on the palate. It's quite pleasant, and I think it sort of activates the taste buds. It allows that smoke to linger, and yeah, it really is quite nice. Let's have one final sip. Yeah, I'm getting a hint of orchard fruits like apples and pears. Definitely, they're present, but they are in the background a bit. And there's also a slight nuttiness that sort of is coming through. It's yeah, reminding me of sort of like hazelnuts, maybe even slightly bitter walnuts, but yeah, definitely some nuttiness. In terms of finish, I'd say it's very long. It's very sweet. There's lots of vanilla. There's that sort of lingering smoke. And there's also a hint of dry wood. In terms of value though, well, as I said, this is a Summerton edition. It came to me as part of my October 2024 subscription. I pay £50 every 2 months for. So how does this sort of look value-wise? Well, I think their normal sort of car strength release is £65. This was obviously £50 as part of the membership. Obviously you can't go out and buy it at that price, but as members, you know, this was specially selected and bottled for the club. So I'm definitely appreciative of what's gone into making this. The Whiskey itself, I think it's the right level of peat. It's definitely not a beginner's peat, even though it says it's lightly peated. I think you've got to have a little bit of experience with peat, and obviously if you're not familiar with cask strength whiskies, then obviously watering it down to that sweet spot for you is also critical. But yeah, I think this definitely doesn't drink as hot as it is. I think obviously if you do have to water this down, then the bottle's going to go further for you. And yeah, this is my second Raasay that I've had. I'm not sure if I reviewed my first Raasay, but I would say this is better than the first one I had. Obviously some time's gone by, and maybe some more matured stocks, some better stocks have managed to go into this as time's gone on, as they've, you know, accumulated more whiskey. But this is definitely back on my radar. You know, I was always impressed with what Raasay were doing, but after my first bottle, I was quite happy to sort of leave them for a while. But now I've tried this, they're definitely back on my radar, and I'll be looking for another bottle soon. If you tried this and you're a Summerton member, then let me know what you thought of this in the comments. And if you're not, and there's a Raasay you think I should try, also let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hopefully you found this interesting, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Sauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.